Have you ever stepped out for a walk and thought to yourself, why does this feel harder than it used to? Maybe your knees ache a little more, or you get tired quicker than before. You're not alone. That feeling, like your energy is slowly slipping away. It's something many people over 60 begin to notice. But here's the thing. Walking, when done the right way, can actually slow that feeling down, or even reverse it. The truth is, how you walk matters just as much as how often you walk. It's not just about putting one foot in front of the other. With a few small adjustments, your daily walk can become one of the most powerful tools you have for living longer, staying independent, and feeling better in body and mind. Today we're diving into 5 simple but powerful walking tricks that could help you add up to 10 years to your life. No gym membership, no complicated routines, just you, your 2 feet, and a little bit of intention. Let's get into it. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really paid attention to your posture while walking, not just standing? Tall for a photo or sitting up at the dinner table, but while moving. Most of us don't think twice about it. We just go. But as we age, the way we carry ourselves becomes incredibly important. So the first trick is to walk tall, with purpose and posture. Picture a string gently pulling the top of your head toward the sky. Your shoulders are relaxed, not hunched. Your eyes are forward, not down. This one simple adjustment doesn't just make you look more confident, it improves your breathing, protects your spine, and reduces your risk of falling. Better posture helps your muscles and joints work the way they're supposed to. And the best part? You'll feel more energetic because your body isn't fighting against itself. Try this the next time you go out. Before you take your first step, stop and take a deep breath. Roll your shoulders back. Feel your chest open up. And then begin your walk like you mean it. Even just 10 minutes of walking with intention like this each day can start to reshape how you move and how you feel. Now, here's something most people forget. Your walk doesn't need to be a marathon to be meaningful. In fact, the second trick is all about breaking your walk into smaller parts throughout the day. That's right. Short walks, done consistently, can be just as effective, if not more so, than a single long one. Let's be honest. Walking for 45 minutes straight might sound great in theory, but in reality, our knees, hips, or just life itself can make that tough. But what if you took 3 10-minute walks, one after breakfast, one after lunch, and one before dinner? You'd still get your 30 minutes of movement, but with less strain and more opportunities to refresh your body and mind. It also helps with blood sugar control, especially after meals, a big win for those trying to manage or prevent diabetes. And here's the beautiful part. Short walks fit easily into daily life. You don't need special clothes. You don't need perfect weather. Just a stroll around the block, a few laps inside the house, or even walking in place while watching your favorite TV show. Each step counts. Each movement matters. And every minute you spend walking this way is a minute you're investing in your health, your energy, and your future. I remember chatting with a gentleman named Frank. He was 72, had some arthritis in his knees, and had nearly given up walking altogether. We talked about breaking his walks into bite-sized sessions, just 5 to 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. Within a month, he was moving more, sleeping better, and smiling wider. It didn't take a fancy program, just consistency and patience. Now, while posture and frequency are key, let's not overlook something most walkers completely ignore. Your arms. That's right. The way you use your arms while walking can actually boost the benefits you get from each step. Most of us let our arms hang loosely by our sides or barely move them at all. But engaging your arms while you walk, gently swinging them in rhythm with your stride, helps you burn more calories, stabilize your body, and even activate your core. Think of your arms as your natural engine boosters. They keep your body in balance and help distribute effort, so your legs aren't doing all the work. You don't have to exaggerate the motion like a power walker, but a gentle, intentional swing with your elbows bent at around 90 degrees can make a big difference. It also helps keep your upper back and shoulders flexible, areas that often get stiff with age. One woman I worked with, her name was June, told me she started using her arms more deliberately during her neighborhood walks. Within 2 weeks, she noticed her pace had improved, her posture felt more natural, and surprisingly, her back pain had eased. It wasn't magic, just movement done mindfully. And remember, walking with proper arm motion can also help improve circulation. That's critical as we age, especially if you're dealing with things like high blood pressure, swelling in the legs, or cold hands and feet. When your blood is flowing better, everything works better from your brain to your toes. So, the next time you head out, check in with your body. Are your arms moving? Are your shoulders relaxed? Is your breathing smooth? These tiny checks become powerful habits over time, and they're habits that pay you back with energy, stability, and strength. We've already covered a lot, and you're probably starting to see that walking isn't just walking. It's a tool, a practice, a gift. When you walk with intention, even the simplest steps become a path toward a longer, more vibrant life. Now that we've talked about standing tall, walking smart, and using your arms the right way, let's keep going, because we're just getting warmed up. We've talked about how standing tall and walking with posture can give your body strength and energy. We've also looked at how breaking your walks into shorter sessions and swinging your arms intentionally can transform a simple stroll into a full-body, life-giving routine. But there's another part of walking that often gets overlooked, and it could be one of the most powerful for your heart, your brain, and your mood. It's about the pace, not how fast you walk necessarily, but how mindfully you control your rhythm. This brings us to the next trick. Walk with intervals, not just comfort. Now, that might sound a little technical, but it's really just about mixing things up a little while you walk. Think of it like adding a few small waves into your otherwise calm stream. Instead of walking at the same easy pace from start to finish, try inserting short bursts where you pick up the pace for 30 seconds to a minute. Then return to your normal pace. It doesn't have to be fast enough to leave you gasping, just enough to get your heart beating a little quicker to make you feel like you're truly using your body. You could walk a little faster to the next mailbox or power up a short hill, then take it easy again. These tiny intervals, just a few here and there, do something incredible for your heart. They train it to respond better to changes in effort, which strengthens your cardiovascular system. But the benefits don't stop there. This kind of walking also gives your metabolism a gentle push, helps lower blood pressure, and can even improve insulin sensitivity, which is so important if you're managing blood sugar or trying to prevent diabetes. And here's something that might surprise you. Adding just a few bursts of faster walking into your routine has been linked to longer life in several studies. We're not talking marathons or speed walking, just little shifts that wake your body up and remind it, hey, I'm still here, I've still got it. I once spoke with a woman named Helen. She was 68, spry, but a little hesitant about exercise. When I told her to treat walking like a wave, gently rising and falling with bits of effort, she gave it a try. A week later, she called me, laughing. I felt like I was walking younger, she said. Not younger as in childish, but stronger, more alive, more awake. That's the kind of change we're after, not just physical strength, but a return to vitality. Now, walking isn't only about the body, it's deeply connected to the mind. which brings me to the next trick, and this one is close to my heart. Walk with your senses wide open. Don't just walk to burn calories or check off a box. Walk to connect, to notice, to be present in the world around you. This is where walking becomes a form of therapy, a way to keep your brain young and your spirit light. As we age, the mind can start to feel foggy, forgetful, distracted, even a little dull at times. But when you walk in a way that engages your senses, when you feel the breeze on your face, listen to the birds, notice the way the sunlight hits the leaves, you're doing something beautiful for your brain. You're building awareness, focus, memory, and even emotional resilience. I call this sensory walking, and it's one of the simplest ways to improve mental clarity without ever picking up a crossword puzzle or Sudoku book. You just bring your attention to what's happening around you without rushing through it. Smell the flowers if there are any. Feel the ground under your feet. Even walking indoors, you can bring your attention to how your body feels as it moves, the way your knees bend, the rhythm of your breath. This kind of walking has been shown to reduce stress hormones like cortisol, lower blood pressure, and lift mood. And here's the best part. It helps anchor you in the moment. So often we find ourselves drifting in thoughts of the past, worries about the future. Sensory walking brings you back to now, and now is where your life is happening. A man I met named George used to walk the same trail every day near his home, but he said it never felt very meaningful, just routine. One day, he tried something different. Instead of walking on autopilot, he focused on what he could hear, the rustle of the leaves, the sound of his own breath, the chirping in the distance. It changed everything, he told me. It felt like I wasn't just walking. I was living. That's the magic of this trick. It doesn't take more time, more effort, or more energy, just a shift in focus. And in return, you get a brain that feels sharper, a heart that feels lighter, and a walk that feeds your soul, not just your body. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not a meditation person, and that's okay. This isn't about turning your walk into some quiet, serious event. It's about waking up your senses again, the ones that so easily fall asleep when we're glued to screens, stuck indoors, or caught in habits that don't light us up anymore. Walking with your senses is like flipping a switch in your brain that says, I'm here, I'm alive, and I still care about the world around me. And maybe that's what this is all about, and not just walking to add years to your life, but walking to add life to your years. When your walks become something you enjoy, not just endure, they stop being a chore and start becoming a daily source of renewal. We've talked about posture, purpose, short walks, arm swings, walking, waves, and tuning into your senses. Together, these shifts can take a regular walk and turn it into a life-changing habit, one that helps you feel stronger, think more clearly, and wake up each day with something to look forward to, even if it's just a quiet stroll through the neighborhood or a slow lap around the house. Let's keep going because we've still got one more powerful walking habit to uncover, one that brings it all together in a way that keeps you motivated, uplifted, and looking so you're standing tall, moving with purpose, throwing in a few energy-boosting intervals, and tuning in to the world around you with sharper senses than you've felt in years. You're not just walking anymore, you're reclaiming something. Strength, confidence, presence, joy. And now, it's time for the final piece. This one doesn't involve how you move your body or how fast you go. It's about who you walk with and why that matters more than you think. Let's talk about walking for connection. Because yes, walking helps your heart, your bones, your balance. But did you know it might also save your spirit? One of the most overlooked health risks as we get older isn't something your doctor can measure with a blood test. It's loneliness, and it can sneak in so quietly. When friends move away, when adult children get busy with their lives, when mobility changes or energy fades. But here's the truth. Even a short walk shared with another person can make a huge difference in how we feel, think, and age. There's something deeply healing about walking side by side with someone, a spouse, a neighbor, a friend, or even a friendly dog. When you walk with someone, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like oxytocin and serotonin. Your mood lifts. You're more likely to smile, to talk, to laugh. And that connection, even if it's brief, adds years to your life. I don't say that lightly. Studies have shown that people with strong social bonds live significantly longer, with better brain health, and far fewer issues like depression or memory loss. If you don't have someone to walk with today, don't worry. Connection doesn't always mean deep heart-to-hearts. Sometimes it's just about seeing a familiar face on the same trail, waving to a neighbor, or even saying hello to the mail carrier as you pass by. When you walk regularly in your community, you start to belong to it again. You become visible, known, grounded. And if you're thinking, but I don't have anyone nearby, I'll tell you something I shared with a man named Frank. He was 74, a widower, and felt alone most days. I told him to start small. Walk the same route at the same time every day. Smile at people, even if they don't smile back at first. After a few weeks, he told me, people started noticing me, saying good morning. A woman even asked if I'd join her walking group. I feel like I exist again. That's the power of walking with community. It's not about fixing loneliness overnight. It's about slowly building the threads that connect you to others again. And those threads, over time, create a net strong enough to catch you when life gets hard, and soft enough to comfort you on the days you need it most. And here's something else I want to say. Don't underestimate the value of walking with yourself. If you can walk with kindness in your thoughts, if you can speak to yourself gently while you move, not judging your pace, your body, your aches or changes, but appreciating your effort, your presence, your breath, that's connection, too. And it's just as important, because at the heart of all this, the better posture, the intervals, the mindfulness, the movement, is the idea that you matter. Your health matters. Your joy matters. And it's never too late to start making choices that prove that to yourself every single day. When you walk with care, with purpose, with joy, and with others, you're doing something powerful. You're telling the world, I'm still here. I still count. I'm not done growing. And that message, repeated through every step, starts to echo in your body, your brain, your mood. It becomes a rhythm of life, one that adds not just time, but quality to your years. So if you've been feeling stuck or tired or unsure where to begin, start with a single step, literally. Lace up your shoes, step outside, breathe in the air, and just walk. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect weather, or the perfect routine. Begin where you are with what you have. It's enough. You're enough. And if all this feels new or even a little overwhelming, just remember this. You don't have to walk 5 miles a day or turn into an athlete. You don't need fancy gear or a complicated plan. You just need consistency, curiosity, and a willingness to show up for yourself a little more each day. The rest will come. Before we wrap up, let's take a deep breath together. In through the nose and out. Feel that? That breath, that calm, that little pause. It's yours. It's a moment of life. And if all you do today is take a few more steps than you did yesterday, or walk with a little more awareness or joy, you're already on the right path. If any of what we've talked about today spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your walking routine like? What's been the hardest part or the most surprising benefit? Your story might be the exact encouragement someone else needs, and if you found this helpful, if it made you feel seen, inspired, or simply ready to move, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got more down-to-earth tips, honest conversations, and uplifting ideas coming your way every week, all focused on helping you live stronger, longer, and more joyfully after 60. Until next time, keep walking, keep smiling, and remember, your next step could be the one that adds years to your life, and life to your years. Here's to living well at every age.